What is going on, guys? MG2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be finally bringing you guys the February 2021 Gunpla News Roundup. But before I begin, I just want to let you guys know that I will have a lot that is going to be coming down the line in terms of work. So the channel will have to be stagnant for a while, although I did promise probably some videos to fill in the gaps before I do get some new releases when April rolls around. But then again, I still have a lot of schoolwork to do. I have 3 presentations to prepare for and 4 essays to write for the end of April. So that's going to be quite a bit of work, but after April, I'm going to be free until further notice. So, yep, let's just tough it out for the remainder of my academic year, and then we can have some fun until the second academic year rolls around. But anyways, here we have some news. So, this is going to be a Bandai Master Grade Gundam X Prepare 3 slated for a June 2021 release for 4,500 yen. Now, I think this is going to be reusing the old Master Grade Exia molds, and I know people have been clamoring for Bandai to make a Master Grade Exia 2.0, but it doesn't look like it's going to be likely with the release of this. Now, from the looks of it, it looks like a scaled up real grade, so it doesn't really look too different. I really cannot tell the differences between the Master Grade and the real grade from the photos alone. So I'm not really too sure what to think about this. Of course, it does come with the very awesome looking long rifle, and you do have the GN Sword Kai, but if this is just going to be a rehash of the Master Grade Exia with new parts, then I don't know how people are going to take to this kit, because yeah, it is premium, obviously, and this is a variant of the Exia that quite a bit of people like. There's a market for this kit. So I don't know how people will take to it potentially using the old mold for the Exia, but then again, I'm not experienced in the Exia real grade, but people have been telling me there are a lot of complaints about that thing. But anyways, Exia R3 Master Grade, let's move on. Next up, we do have the Bandai Master Grade Blade Zaku Phantom Raza Burrell Custom, slated for a June 2021 release for 4,700 yen. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of it because, of course, it's a Master Grade. I'm not a fan of any Master Grades unless they're Gundam frames. So far, I may develop towards different interests. And second of all, it's a Zaku. Not a fan of Mono Eyes. I know a lot of people will hate me for this. And third of all, I'm not a fan of the color scheme. Personally, the pink parts, they could have used a gray in the design, but I haven't seen Destined for obvious reasons, so I have no ground to stand on if I do judge the color scheme. But personally, it's not really my cup of tea. It does come with the twin shields, a very unique looking booster. It does also come with a B-Max and a kind of like a physical rifle. I think the muzzle pods look as though they can flip up and open up, whichever it is. I'm not really too sure. And it does also come with a pretty awesome looking bazooka, which is very, very nice. Of course, hand parts are included, but then again, it's another Zaku Warrior variant that is in the Master Grade form. We already have the slash Zaku Phantom that is pretty awesome, might I add. So, for those of you who are collectors of the Zaku Warrior series, this is a pretty good one to go for. But next up over here, we have the Gundam Base Tokyo Limited Zaku Warrior Live Concert version, and this is just the spawn of Satan. Of course, the Zaku itself, color scheme, it's all up to people's taste. It is also rehashing the Gundam Zaku Warrior mold, so of course it is going to look nice, and of course it's going to have the same mechanics as that kit. And of course, we do have some atrocious looking stickers. We have the gigantic heart with the gigantic Haro, and it does say love on the chest, which is, of course. And this yellow star over here, or yellow arrow, or something like that, looks to be a completely whole sticker with 3 yellow stickers for the spikes, which is gonna look atrocious. And of course, it does say Zakus Klein alive, which, thank God for that, but I know the quote-unquote pilot of this thing, because this thing is basically used as a stage prop, is not actually Zakus Klein. It's an imposter. She's sus. Vote her out. But anyways, the Zaku Warrior itself doesn't really look too bad, but Color scheme, obviously not to my taste. Does come with some basic weaponry like the shield and the grenades on the side. I think they're grenades. I don't know, not really too sure. Correct me in the comments below. But of course, it does also come with the imposter mascot, which, yeah, we can clearly see why this girl is the imposter. I already forgot the name of her, even though she is added into Gundam Breaker Mobile. But never really cared too much about Seed Destiny, so why should I? But this thing right here, at the very least, we should vote her out for being a very, very hideous imposter. Next up on the list, we do have a premium Bandai high-grade Universal Century Galgook Vertex, which is going to be a June 2021 release for 2,500 yen. Now, the Galgook Vertex looks as though it's going to be reusing the entire old mold for the Galgook, which is outdated, looks bland, has terrible articulation as I can imagine, and terrible color separation. Like, the entire kit is only made up of 2 colors as far as I can tell. And it doesn't have any panel lining detail. The backpack itself looks cheap, but it's probably to fit in with the overall cheaply made kit, because the Galgook didn't even receive any like upgrades, unlike the Rick Diaz when it was went into the Build Gamma Gundam and the re-release version of the Rick Diaz Quattro Bagina version. The booster pack over here is the only unique part as far as I can tell. You can also have the Naginata, which thank God it is included with. And the booster, yeah, thrusters, fuel tanks, sensors, all we have seen before. And it looks as though we are going to have a different configuration of the backpack where it only has 2 thrusters. Not sure what is up with that, but yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, we do seem to get a lot of different range weaponry, so yeah, you can put these off to the side if you don't decide to use them. Trigger finger hands on both sides, so that is going to be pretty nice, but it looks as though it's going to be missing some hand covers just in case you want to have it use the regular holding hands, which is a bummer. Could have just made 2 more. It's pretty simple, but a lot of kids have been doing that in the past, so I don't know what to say. Like, to each their own on their stance on reusing hand covers from other hands instead of making just enough for them. But this thing right here is one thing I really cannot wrap my head around. I don't know if it's because of the fatigue or anything like that, but this is the high-grade premium Bandai Rick Diaz. It is going to be the mass production type as far as I can tell, slated for June 2021 release for 2,090 yen. Now, of course, this looks exactly the same as the previous Rick Diaz's that we've got, apart from the Build Gamma Gundam. And yeah, it's going to have the same weaponry. We got the 2 beam rifles with the long rifle, as I'm assuming here, or the bazooka. Not too familiar with the Rick Diaz, but as far as I can tell, it is a bazooka. But again, as far as I can tell, this thing is not going to be using the updated joints of the Build Gamma Gundam, because as far as I can tell here, the arms are bent to their limit, 90 degrees. The legs, if I can find an aerial pose, are bent to their limit, 90 degrees. I don't know about the legs, but the arms are able to bend the full 180 with the Build Gamma Gundam joints. It is perplexing how much they're charging this not to include the updated joints. Like, they already have the mold, it exists, it's included in 2 Rick Diaz variants in the past. Why could they have not included the updated joints in the Rick Diaz, like the new Rick Diaz? It beats me as to think about a reason for why they don't decide to do that. Like, personally, I won't pick up this kit for obvious reasons, but if they actually made me, or maybe coerced me to pick this kit up, I would have been happy to pay a little bit more just to have some updated joints on the Rick Diaz. But as far as we can tell, this is not going to be the case for this thing. Why? I don't know. I'm too tired to even throw on a rant here, but just don't want to hold up you guys for too long. But finally, we have a regular release. This is going to be a 30-minute mission kit, the Space Type Portanova in a dark purple color scheme. Now, as you can see here, the Portanova is going to be coming with all the equipment from some previous sets. It is going to include I don't know. The backpack looks new. The legs are definitely new, as far as I can tell. But it does also come with the. Of course, you can create something from Star Wars. It also does come with the long rifle and the claw hand from that option set from in the past. This has gone extinct, but I do not want to have like another body just to throw off to the side just to get the weapons. But if you guys really like the Portanova, this is going to be another one to go for, and you can absolutely steal the weapons for your own use. They are awesome and unique weapons that deserve to be used in other kits, as well as this one right here. Okay, future MJ here with some missing pieces of news that I forgot to cover, so let's get right into it before I drag on for too long. Now here is basically a Beyond Global Gundam, another version of it. I thought this was going to be limited run, but apparently not with what Bandai is doing here, because they did release a G3 variant and now they're releasing a Gundam based Tokyo variant. It's going to be a March 2021 release for 2,420 yen. Now, it's nothing really too special if you've already built the Beyond Global Gundam. Personally, this is not my favorite design among them all, but if you do like it and want it in another color scheme, here you have it. It's probably going to be imported because it's Gundam based Tokyo Limited, so it's going to be like, it's in the middle ground of being not available at all to being relatively more available because it will have a chance of being imported. Next up on the menu, we have a P Bandai Master Grade 1-100 expansion parts for the Gundam wingsuits, which is basically gonna equip the Tallgeese 2, the Death Scythe Hell, and the Nataku Gundam, or the Ultron Gundam, with the Glory of Losers equipment. So for the Ultron Gundam, it looks as though it is gonna have a new backpack, and something that has to do with the beam glaive, and some new arm parts, I'm assuming. Not really too familiar with the Glory of Losers manga, and it does look pretty nice with all the parts on. We do have some parts here for the Death Scythe Hell. I think the extra scythe head is a new thing because I did have the Master Grade Death Scythe Hell before it was destroyed because of our ignorance, but it does also come with these crab claws, which I wish I already have for a high grade. Just because these literally look like the Gundam Acheron crab claws. And they're shrunken down and equipped onto the gauntlets, which is amazing. I really do like the idea of it. I just wish the idea had came to me sooner. And of course, it does look pretty good with all of those parts on. And for the Tallgeese, I think it's just going to be this gigantic lance over here. So yeah, the gigantic lance looks like the anti-ship lance from Iron Blooded Orphans. Or is it a sword? I don't know. I can't really tell. It's a mix between a lance and a sword. This is all the equipment that you get here. Apparently, okay, not the arm parts, apparently. So you do get a new tailpiece and new backpack for the Ultron, new wings for the Ultron, crab claws and a new scythe head, and an extra scythe effect part for the Death Scythe Hell. And you do get some a new hand and the lance sword thing, and also the storage port for it. So pretty hefty amounts of parts when it comes to the expansion parts, but you do need to have the Master Grade Ultron EW, Master Grade Tallgeese 2, and the Master Grade Death Scythe Hell EW in order to have all these parts be put into good use, unless you are a very good customizer that can put all these parts into one Gunpla for a customized build. With that, kudos to you. Finally, a new line is on the horizon. This is a 30-minute Sisters line, which I don't know what it could entail, but this could probably mean that some more of those figurized standard mecha girls are gonna be appearing in this line and have the build simplified to be able to complete them within 30 minutes. But I don't know what this entails. And of course you do have the Shokugan modeling project, which I absolutely have no clue on what this is. So if you want to discuss in the comments, feel free to do so. But I'm only going to be listing the news that I've already covered in the previous video, so if you want a more in-depth analysis for those kits, please check out that video. Links will be up in the cards up above. So we do have the Premium Bandai Crossbone Gundam X0 Full Cloth for May 2021 release for 2,750 yen. We do have the Libertas Dexter Dictus for a May 2021 release for basically 4,000 yen, 3,960. We do have the Spinatio Ninja Type, which is going to be a May 2021 release for 1,408 yen. We do have the Extended Armored Vehicle Cannon Bike version, which is going to be a June 2021 release for 858 yen. The Real Grade Wing Gundam, which is going to be a June 2021 release for 3,520 yen, which is freaking expensive for a wing kit, 1:144 scale, by mind you. But in terms of the amount of detail, yes, that makes sense. But still, it's a major turnoff to buy a wing Gundam that is this expensive. Like, it's a price of a master grade. Next up, we have the high grade Dust Scythe, that is going to be a May 2021 release for 1,650 yen. The Full Mechanics Calamity Gundam for a June 2021 release for 5,500 yen. The Real Grade Strike Rouge with the Grand Slam, which is already released for 3,300 yen. We also have the Clear Color Crossbone Real Grade, which is going to be at a price for 2,750 yen. And then finally, we have the Titanium Finish Real Grade Force Impulse Gundam, which is also released for 7,150 yen. So that's going to wrap it up for Gunpla news for today. And like I said, if you want a more in-depth analysis on the kits that previously announced for February, please check out the other video. But tell me in the comments below, which one of these kits are you going to be excited to get? What are your opinions on Bandai's inexplicable decisions on some certain kits? And thank you all so much for tolerating my tired voice, and thank you all so much for understanding my silence in the next coming months up until like after I finish all academic work. And thank you all so much for listening in general. So if you did like it, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and also subscribe, and don't forget to share, just because I really do appreciate the exposure right now. Subscribe for more Gunpla news, Gunpla reviews, and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to the featured channels on my channel page if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.